We are the litigators. Yeah!
I done flapped my bussy lips in the wind down to the cookout.
Here's a live look at Boston, Massachusetts now as we check back in on one of our top stories, anti-Trump protests taking place across the country today after a tumultuous week, to say the least.
Well, the media is going to act like there was some major anti-Trump protest in Washington, D.C. today. But the reality is, it's fake. They were all busting on buses, like right behind me. A lot of the anti-Trump protesters in D.C. were literally busting. You know, it's really funny. We caught the left busing protesters into the Kamala Harris rally back in October. Then we caught the left busing protesters into Kamala Harris's Las Vegas rally, also last October. So I don't understand why the left thinks they can continue to bust people into Washington, D.C. and important events to astroturf a crowd, and don't think Laura and I are going to catch them.
So what makes Trump a fascist? What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews.
Sorry?
He just doesn't. He just does everything he wants, and not following laws or he's a convicted felon.
The fascist Trump regime must go.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious what makes him a fascist. You pointed out that maybe something about his relationship with the media, he wants to control it, but
Yeah.
how? Again, you're calling him a fascist.
Yeah. Well,
what makes him a fascist?
One of the core tenets of fascism is creating an enemy, right, and blaming those problems on
What's
the
that?
enemy.
Oh, yeah,
So-
the paper gave me. Yeah.
Who gave you that?
The people that gave me the sign. It's a free sign.
Oh, someone gave you the sign,
Yeah.
and then they gave you the handout.
Yeah.
So are you reading it now to try to answer the question?
Yeah, but I mean.
Can I see that? Can you hold that up?
I'm just not.
I'm just curious.
On Wall Street and the economy, we want to point out just a few minutes ago, we did show you a protest. We said it was Boston. It was not Boston. It was an unrelated protest. But what you are looking at right now is Boston. And I'm from there. I can recognize this. This is the plaza right outside of City Hall.
When 1,200 protests light up all 50 states, it's not just a bad Yelp review. It's the nation attempting to tell Donald Trump and Elon Musk, hands off the wheel, fellas. Buckle up, because today, April 5th, 2025, is officially Hands Off Protest Day. Protesters are set to storm the nation like a hurricane of democracy. Over 1,200 protesters are demonstrating across all 50 states, and they're gearing up with a unified message to Donald Trump and his billionaire sidekick, Elon Musk. They're saying, keep your hands, keep your mitts off of the government and the economy. What are the liberals' grievances? Let's count the ways. Mass federal layoffs. Federal workers were handed pink slips faster than you can say, you're fired. Social Security closures, shuttering offices like Blockbuster stores in 2010. Immigration deportations are climbing higher than a SpaceX rocket. They're protesting transgender protection rollbacks, rights disappearing quicker than a Tesla on ludicrous mode. And they're protesting health program cuts, slicing funding like it's a Black Friday sale. And who's the maestro behind the symphony slashes? None other than Elon Musk, the head of the newly minted Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. His mission is to trim the fat on government waste, fraud, and abuse. Critics are saying that he's performing liposuction on essential services.
This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Yes. Time to fight. How can people unite? It's time to fight. Our family is under attack. What do we do? Stand up like that. When human rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that. Free speech rights are under attack. What do we do? Stand up like that.
The epicenter of this national outcry is set for Washington, D.C., where organizers anticipate a turnout anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 souls in the National Mall. This is posed to be one of the largest demonstrations since the encore of Trump's inauguration.
hope that this would be the largest single day protest against the Trump administration since President Trump retook office in January. And I can tell you there are thousands of people here from across the country. I want to show you a little bit of the crowd right now. You can see right here, if my photographer Dartise pans on over here to see a little bit of the crowd, you can see people here walking out. They're carrying their signs, things that say resist. They're carrying their flags. The crowd has remained peaceful, but man, these people are fired up. They are angry, and they've been very vocal about their frustrations. They're accusing President Trump and Elon Musk of a billionaire takeover. They're accusing them of shutting down America for parts, shutting down Social Security offices, firing federal workers, all they say to benefit the billionaire class. There are several groups here, civil rights groups, labor unions, climate organizations. Democratic members of Congress also spoke today, and they are hoping to take on a sharper message that they hope will be effective and resonate with voters as they try to come up with a strategy, an effective strategy to counter the Trump administration. Here's Congressman Jamie Raskin.
Vance and Musk, they may have access to artificial intelligence, but they've got no access to human intelligence. These founders of the Dark Enlightenment, as they call themselves, are no match for the founders of the actual Enlightenment.
And you know, Kevin, these protests are happening across the country, but I spoke to one attendee who said she traveled from Boston to be here in D.C. so that she can deliver a message directly to the Trump administration. She thought that that would be more effective. But I have to say, Kevin, President Trump is not here, of course. He's in Mar-a-Lago. Back to you.
Apparently, they were bussing folks in as well. Even the First Lady Melania adjusted her schedule, postponing the White House's spring garden tours, out of an abundance of caution. Because nothing says spring like a sea of protesters demanding quote-unquote accountability. From Tampa Bay to Tacoma, Americans are dusting off their protest signs, ready to voice their discontent, whether it's concerns over Social Security, immigration rights, or simply a distaste for billionaires moonlighting as policymakers. The message seems to be a little mixed, but they're attempting to say hands off.
It's really why I feel like I need to be here.
I finally reached a breaking point. I couldn't take it anymore. Actually, I probably win the long distance award. I came here from Hawaii.
Look at our country. It's embarrassing, like genuinely embarrassing to be like an American right now.
There were protests in 1,000 cities across all 50 states.
We shall
here we go with the singing again.
A nationwide act of defiance that can't have gone unnoticed. But Donald Trump appeared focused on other things.
Exactly.
Reading headlines about China's tariffs on his way to the golf course.
As the nation braces for this quote-unquote monumental day of quote-unquote action, one thing's for sure, when Americans feel that their rights are on the chopping block, they don't just sit back. The liberals take the streets and do the two-step. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comments section down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.